I've seen enough videos to kind of contextualize what the internet is trying to say about Justin Bieber's performance at Coachella versus what I saw at Coachella. I agree that a lot of people would have seen Justin Bieber's performance as nothing more than a display of how male pop stars often treat the stage as some sort of place to just do anything with and not really put any full effort into because it doesn't require that of them. One of the creators I enjoy on here, she made a video that blew up that was pretty negative about Justin Bieber's performance and how it was no excuse to display such a very bare bones, bare minimum, very inexcusable performance for someone that was paid $9 million to perform at one of the biggest events in the music industry, right? And how it highlighted a dissonance between him and what female artists deal with as far as performance and what is the exceptions, especially when it comes to counteracting that with black women like Meg Thee Stallion, like Beyonce, and Beyonce who set the standard for Coachella, which is why we even have the insert artist part of their name here, Chella, and how their struggles do not define who they are to be giving a half delivered performance like this. I've seen that from a couple creators, but I think there is an objective notion to this because I agree if you're paying for a show, you should get a real show. What Justin Bieber displayed was kind of similar, but not at all with the same intention as Charlie XCX last year. She went on stage bare minimum with a very, very, very minimal set. She went on stage with just a mic, her outfit, and raw charisma and just vibes. Literally, that was all Charlie came in with, and she delivered an hour set worth of that, and it still was to a lot of people's perception worth the money because she went all out. She did not stop. She did not even think twice. You can see it's just her and the stage and whatever she was feeling. With Bieber, his performance at the Grammys really did solidify this, and I think it was a good precursor. I think the Grammy performance was a great precursor, and I do agree with the video on the other end of the spectrum regarding is this the right word when she talked about Justin not being the same as he was to give a Dance Monkey Dance performance. Like giving all the pop pageantry that's worth $9 million. I agree. We should have got that. We could have got that if Justin Bieber was Justin Bieber the way he would have without the levels of manifested physical disabilities that have happened due to this trauma. It's sort of what I would expect Kanye, if he was really healing, to be doing now with his life to really display that. I cannot fundamentally compare this to Frank Ocean because I feel like, in comparison, Frank got on stage very late, but also very directionless and very unsure of himself. It feels like this is what I remember from the performance I was watching. And I do think you could say this is a bit of a slap in the face to anybody who's getting on that stage that is getting paid to put on a show. But this is definitely a public display of trauma healing. And also, he's doing this for not only his fans, I would even say, I feel like this is more so for himself to prove that he is willing to get back on stage in general because he probably wouldn't have. I think Justin really doesn't think he would have lived long enough to even have this performance. And it is brave of him. I will say that's true. Like, he really pulled a lot to do this because of his mental stints, being stunted because of the trauma and all his medical issues that he's going through and diseases. I just think that there's a lot more nuance to just say that this is just the worst performance of all time, that men are always given excuses. I think some of the nuance does include the fact that this Justin really is the biggest display of what we talk about when we say Britney Spears's limitations have become and the amount of damage physically done to mentally and physically to them that will never be able to fully recover to even become a quarter of the performer that they were supposed to be or that they could have been. And with the timeline that they've been through, with the echoing of Justin's Journals era, still peeking through some of Swag and Swag 2, but never really being able to fully develop it because of all the other manifestations. Bottom line, it's not a performance I would have paid for, but it's a performance I think was needed for him.